I did it all out of order.
You did.
Now I don't know what to say next.
Yeah. We are very scripted in the way we do things, and anytime there's a little curveball thrown in, it's like, oh, wait, what?
Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games
and
skulls. Exactly,
emerald ones.
Indeed.
Because today's video is all about emerald skulls. We are back again with another pumped up Kickstarter. And today's Kickstarter is on emerald skulls from
Thunderworks Games,
who very kindly sponsored this preview video. So, as per usual with our previews, we're going to do a little overview, we're going to have a little chit chat, we're going to talk about this game to help you figure out whether or not this is a game for you, okay?
Prototype.
These are important decisions. It is a prototype. It says right here, prototype, not for sale, okay?
Not for resale.
Not for resale. Will be for sale on Kickstarter, that's for sure. That's very convenient because there are booger dice in this game.
There are booger dice. It's not burger dice.
Burger dice.
It's not booger dice.
Well, that's what I
It's a pick and flick or something, isn't it?
No.
Pick and flick adventure like Booger
Pick
Man.
a roll.
Pick a roll.
Pick and roll.
Pick and roll.
Anyways, let's get into the overview. We're back. Time to chat about emerald skulls. Jeffrey, would you please tell the people about emerald skulls?
I'd love to. Emerald Skulls is a push your luck game with a betting element attached to it. You are essentially, depending on player count, you're going to have a certain amount of gear tokens out on the board, and you are racing to get as many of those as you can, depleting the pile as you go. And once the pile is depleted, it triggers endgame. Whoever has the most gears at the end of the game wins. I will mention, gears in this game are currency as well as victory points. So on your turn, what you're doing is rolling dice. So you can always inherently roll 3 dice for 0 worth of gears.
Free!
But you can add more dice to enhance your ability to score more points by buying dice with gears.
Up to 7 dice.
Just so you know. So why would you do that? Well, in this game, ultimately you have a player board in front of you, a shared board, that is a skull. And each dice and each level of the skull has a different dice requirement on it. So the bottom teeth are level 1, the top teeth are level 2, the nose is level 3, eyes are level 4, and the gem in the forehead is level 5. In levels 1, 2, and 3, as many dice as you want can go in those locations. But only 2 eye dice can go there, and only 1 gem dice is allowed. And you'll notice each has a certain symbol. All of the dice have corresponding values on all of the dice, and you're trying to roll those values in order to fill out the skull. When you roll dice, you are picking at least 1 dice to place out on a level, but if you select one, you have to play them all out on the same level. So you can't place a level 1 and a level 3 on the same turn. You could place 3 level 1s if you so choose, or 3 level 3s, but that's kind of how that works. Also, one more quick caveat. When you place dice, you have to place on the lowest currently scored level or higher. So on the first round, if you have nothing filled out, you can place at any level. But let's say you put your first dice on the nose, on level 3. Now, anytime you roll in the future, you have to place on level 3 or higher. You can't go back down below. Okay? Make sense?
Yes.
We all understanding how that works?
Yes.
Perfect. On top of this, there is a betting mechanism that everyone that's not rolling the dice, that's not the tumbler, in this game, you are known as the tumbler when you're rolling the dice. Everyone else going to be betting on the outcome of the tumbler's turn. And there's multiple different ways the tumbler can kind of go out. It's called going out of their round. They can go out by busting, which basically means they haven't properly done anything and they've busted out. There's options where they've chickened out. So maybe they're like, they have 2 dice left and they don't want to place anymore. They don't want to roll because they're scared. So they've chickened out. There's also a value where this one here is called a double out. And that means they've filled out the whole board and finished by placing a skull, because the skull on the dice is wild, or a 5 on the gem piece there.
That is a mix of gemming out by putting a die at the top or rolling out by using all of your die.
Yes.
So you don't have to technically fill it. But
it doesn't really matter what all of those mean. Just know you can bet on the outcomes of the tumbler during your off turn. So you're always paying attention to what's going on. And depending on those betting outcomes, you will also score gears. So there's constantly going to be gears exchanging. The tumbler's going to score gears based off of certain values of how they went out. So if they went out with the double out, they're actually going to score this level depending on how many dice they have in each level. It's really straightforward, and you're just racing to get as many points as you can, trying to deplete that stack and have the most gears at the end of the game. Yes. One more thing I should mention. That is the wild side of the die. The only other thing I should mention is that you can pick noses.
Oh, yes, boogers.
You can pick the nose of the skull in order to get rerolls, and they're signified by these little booger tokens, which we've so kindly named them booger tokens.
Yeah, they're boogers.
So you will get those by doing certain things, by going out in certain ways. You'll notice that the nose token here always has booger tokens associated with it. So you get booger tokens. I'm apologizing to Thunderworks Games because they're not called booger tokens.
Bogies.
But guess what? They are now. Trademarked.
Snotty.
Booger tokens are allowing you to re-roll dice if you so choose.
Exactly.
You spend one, re-roll a dice, keep going. It is a straightforward, simple dice rolling game with some betting. I would say plays best at a higher player count. We have played it too.
You can play it solo though.
It was enjoyable, but I think it'd be a little bit more rowdy and raucous at like higher player count.
Correct.
But that, in a nutshell, is Emerald Skulls.
And like I just mentioned, there is a solo mode that you can play, which we haven't tested out yet, but it does come with special cards for the solo mode. There's also reference cards for everybody, of course. And in terms of these betting cards, there's
like base version betting cards, there's advanced version, and there's a bunch of advanced cards. There's like jackpot bets you can win and stuff. Like there's a lot of variability in terms of like the betting outcomes of the game.
Yes.
So you can really spice things up.
Can really spice it up. And as Jeff mentioned as well, your gears are multi-purpose. So down here on the basically everything you need to know
is somewhere.
Is on the board or on the reference card. So like all of the payouts are listed up here and they're like corresponding with the side. If you want 3 dice, it's free. If you want 4 dice, you pay a gear. If you want 7 dice, you have to pay 10 gears. Pricey, but then you get more dices.
Yep.
So nothing
Better
wrong with
payout.
that. Better payout.
I will also mention the betting happens before anything is rolled.
Correct.
So no bets can be changed or whatever, at least in the base game. I'm unsure if that changes in any of the advanced variants, but I don't think it does. All the bets happen before the tumbler starts rolling.
Yes, so everybody gets 2 of these, and you can place them on different betting cards, and there's no penalty if you're wrong.
Yeah, there is a stack limit though, so some of the betting areas can only take like 3 bets. So if you're playing at a higher than 3 player count, because this goes up to 6.
Correct.
Anyone else can't bet on that, and there's a varying degree. If you're first, you're going to get a more lucrative payout.
10.
if you get it correct.
Yes.
That sort of thing.
Exactly. Like this one is $10, $8, or 10 gears, 8 gears, 5 gears, and it is whoever's on top gets the highest.
Lowest.
The lowest. Whoever's on top gets the lowest because you were the slowest. Trademark.
Trademark that.
We're trademarking everything today. Anyways, that is the game. So who is it for? Obviously, this is for a game. This is not for a game.
This is for a game.
This is a game. This is for somebody who enjoys chucking dice. You like a little push your luck. You like betting games. You enjoy, maybe you enjoy going to the casino and rolling some dice and putting all your money on red. I don't know what game that is. But this is definitely a game for people who enjoy kind of like that betting element and push your luck. Obviously, if you are adverse to luck-based games, this is a luck-based game. It's a push your luck game. There is a little bit of mitigation with the booger cubes. However, you're rolling dice and hoping for the best, and you are trying to obviously make the right decisions on where you place your die.
Yeah, it's very kind of like roulette-esque. So if you like that kind of like roulette casino game, definitely something worth checking out. But yeah, it very much feels like playing roulette, but not playing roulette.
Definitely a lighter fare for Thunderworks Games. So this is kind of something bit new for them in terms, dice rolling is not new for them because we all know, role player, you be rolling them dice, right? But this is definitely a little bit different in comparison to the other games that they have put out, which is great. Yeah, this is like a little dice tray.
Yeah.
I wish that we realized that.
We didn't.
We didn't. Let's hear what sounds it makes. You ready?
That was satisfying.
Beautiful.
I approve of that sound.
Oh, one thing I wanted to mention as well is that like the wild die, something that's really interesting about that is certain payouts
won't
score for wild dice, including if you chicken out or if you roll out, then because you can place a skull anywhere.
Same placement rules
apply, but if you then either roll out or chicken out and you have like a bunch, that happened to me in our last game. I had 4 freaking skulls and then I rolled out and I couldn't score like anything, even though I had a lot filled out.
But what's interesting is there's if you did that, there are certain areas that are like jackpot bonuses, and depending how you went out, you actually can then score like 5 gears per skull icon.
Yeah, that's this one.
Yeah, so here you can trigger if you gem out with a skull, you then can trigger the jackpot bonus, and then you're actually going to get 5 gears per skull icon.
Yep. And there's one where
instead of the standard scoring.
Right. And there's one where you double out if you filled the skull and you've gemmed out. So
yeah, so there's like some bonus areas you can go to and really rack up them points.
Totally.
So different player counts, the only difference in the game is how many gears are available.
Yeah, in a 2-player game it's 80.
Yeah.
In a 6-player game it's 200.
It scales, yeah.
Scales, and you don't start with any because you got to work for it.
No, so you're only ever going to roll 3 dice to start.
Exactly. So that is a little bit about Emerald Skulls. Like we mentioned, if you are interested in this game, all of the information, links you need are going to be in the description below, so definitely check it out if it sounds like something you might be interested in. As always, watch lots of content, you gotta read some stuff, you gotta look on the Kickstarter page, you gotta figure out whether or not this is a good game for you, and only you can determine that. Why, Jeff? Because...
MIBD.
Mibbed.
Make informed buying decisions.
Yeah, if you're not mibbed.
If you're not mibbing, if you're not mibbed-in,
what are you?
You're doing it wrong.
What are you doing, right? Anyways, that is everything we have for you today. Now, if you're interested in buying board games, not this one, you have to go to Kickstarter for this one, but all of the other Thunderworks games, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is...
the Boardroom Game Cafe.
That's where we got a bunch of our Thunderworks games.
Correct.
Actually, that's where we got Role Player Adventures.
Yep.
And if you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye!
There it is. Jamie never comes prepared. Or gear locks, one of the two.
Gearlocks is from Too Many Bones.
Jamie always just makes me second guess and then I have to do all this stuff. She can't just let me go. gear. She's such an Oscar. What are you doing? Are you having a seizure?
Isn't that freaky?
Yeah. You're creeping me out. Stop doing that. I really don't like that. I really hate that.
All right, Chef.
Emerald Skulls is a... Emerald Skull... You are 10 out of 10 annoying me tonight. Are you good?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Ow.
Leave that in.
I won't. I love zoodles, but they don't love me.